so I'm like
Grandbaby.
grandbaby.
I'm Megan. I am grandbaby Bud. And I'm going to be speaking on behalf of Baby Bud because I took online speech, so I know what I'm doing.
Awesome.
Everyone today is here to honor and remember Lord Budweiser. Interestingly, I don't know as much about Lord Budweiser as you all do, but I would like to introduce you to the man I do know very well. He's known as Rod to his son-in-law, Pappy to his granddaughters, Babe to his wife. To me, though, he is Daddy. The man who came when I screamed for him to help me out of the tree I had climbed too high, and told me not to do it again because he wouldn't come out next time. The man who came and took me out of the tree when I climbed right back up the next day. The man who stayed up until 3 in the morning putting a bike together for Christmas. The man who sewed me a practice flag when I wanted to be in color guard. The man who sat next to me in his truck while teaching me to drive a stick on a horribly steep hill with a red light at the top and a semi right behind. The man who came to every concert I played at school and in college. The man who would leave work and come and pick me up on Friday from UT when I would call at 5 p.m. and ask if I could come home for the weekend. The man who stood outside of the bride's room door and described in detail everything that was happening while I waited to walk down the aisle. The man who sat in the hospital conference room terrified when we told him and Mom his oldest granddaughter Karen had cancer. The man who cried with me on the phone when Karen's cancer treatment got to be too hard for me to handle. The man who spent the week at the beach alone with his youngest granddaughter Megan, just because she wanted to, and built her a private shower outside the camper so she wouldn't have to go to the public showers alone. The man who asked if he and Mom could stay with us for 2 months so he could take her to the fair for the whole season because they enjoyed it so much. Again and again and again. I never once doubted the love my daddy had for me while Randy and the girls. He showed it every day. And I feel so grateful to have him in my life. This is the daddy I love the most.
Huzzah!
Who's next?
First of all, we're going to start this off right since this is for Lord Budweiser. You know I'm doing this for you.
And your lady. It's hot and shaking.
I've got one for him too. Alright. I just want to say, about 4 years ago, I got adopted into Laugh A Lot with Lord Bud and Lady Bud. Now, like many people, when you come to fair, you see Lord and Lady Bud. You don't remember exactly when you get to see them, because you see them and like, oh, they're part of the fair, and they are. The wonderful thing about getting to know them comes later, when you actually get to sit down and talk to both of them. And you realize Rod, Lord Bud, loved drinking Budweiser. And the reason being, he could not taste it or smell it. That explained a lot once I got to know him. Now, I'm going to tell my favorite story about Rod, because Rod would love to tell that story. 2 years ago, he went to the hospital. He had a minor stroke, could not speak. Sweet speaker swallow, he gets rushed to the hospital on Friday night. On the way in on Saturday morning, we get a call saying, you need to run by because we called, we're talking to the room when he's not answering. Well, he answered the phone, but he's not saying anything. We have the number to the room, but not the number to the hospital. So we're 10 minutes away, we're there in no time. As we're walking into the hospital, I have to call Dusty. Dusty, what is Lord Budweiser's real name? Again, you go in, I'm looking for Lord Budweiser. Oh, we're going to put you in this room. So we find it's Rod Steve. Okay, so we know the name, we know the room, we find, and we go in, and he's sitting there just as well as could be. He can't talk. No words are coming out of his mouth. He does not have that ability. So we make sure he's good. We talk to the nurses. They say, we'll be back in a few minutes. So we're in there, and are you feeling okay? Yeah, I'm okay. So now it's like, okay, we got to pass the time. So Rod, how was the fair? I'm sorry, you can't answer that question. All right, so Rod, did you get your trailer set up all right? Well, you know, okay. I kept asking him open-ended questions, knowing that was really pissing him off. It gets to the point where he's just like, and I go, Rod, I know I'm upsetting you. I appreciate that. I understand your feelings. If you want me to shut up, say it right now. I will never say another word to you again. And he has this look like, I really wish I could talk to him. And I knew he loved this because he loved telling this story every time we'd sit around the campfire, that he would love it. It's like, if I could just talk that one time, that he would shut up forever. But the Lord Bud, you are a wonderful friend and family, and we're going to greatly miss you, but we also know you're always going to be here. When we're at the fair, you're always going to be with us. So Bud, huzzah! Huzzah! If anybody else would like to share a story, I know everybody's got them. So please come forward.
Yeah, right.
Anybody can come up, we'll take turns.
This is a short one. Everybody who's camped at TRF uses Lord Budweiser's trailer and the Budweiser flag as a landmark. That's how we stumble our way back to Lapalach, and we're right across from it. One day I came over here in Sherwood, and I noticed that the flag was upside down. Rod had it on a pulley, and he just kind of pulled it around, and every once in a while he pulled it up backwards. And the Budweiser flag was upside down, and I said, Rod, is it one of the Clydesdales dying? And I said, what are you talking about? I said, your flag, man, it's upside down. Did one of the Clydesdales die? And he goes, oh, God damn it, I just turned the thing up the wrong way. That's my only real Lord Bud story, but, you know, he had a great sense of humor. He was a wonderful guy, and I want to miss him.
I can't follow that actor very well. Mine is more of a form of life. When I first started going to TRF, I was camping with Chaos. The first place my tent was next to Lord Budweiser. I have never felt more welcome in my life. They were the first people from Chaos that I met. The second. And they always made me feel at home. They made me feel welcome. I would set up my tent, and I would hear, Sally, come sit and talk to us, come sit and talk to us, come have a drink, come have whatever, and they just always made me feel at home. And so that always really great.
I have sort of a short one. At one time an adult.
Just one time in fair.
One time in fair.
Back in 2005, my wife and I worked in the business where we sold portable hot tubs called soft tubs. You could load it on the back of your truck and haul it. So we're one of the first people probably that's ever hauled one to TRF, set it up on a generator, and had a tent with their own hot tub in it for an evening entertainment. Well, tearing it down, the last thing to do was dump out the water barrels. Well, I'd been 2 hours during that October sun trying to get everything loaded up. So I just shucked off my clothes and climbed into the water barrel to get a bath. Of course, everybody's standing around there watching, of course, and there was back parked right over where we were, because we were right there with the Chaos people. There's a pop-up trailer sitting there with people sitting out front having coffee. Well, later that next spring, we were doing a big show in San Antonio at the Stock Show and Rodeo. I walk in early in the morning to open up my the display area, and there's two people standing there. And of course, the first thing I always ask everybody, have you ever seen one of these hot tubs while I'm doing all this? And the gentleman says, the last time I saw one, there was a guy unloaded off the back of the truck at a Renaissance fair, and I went. So from that point on, they stayed there about an hour and talked to us, and I got to know them really well, and then my wife and I got to know them out here too. And we didn't get to spend as much time as we would because we started our own plant out here at that time. But we've always seen you in and out, talked to you, and loved all of you quite a bit. So we love you, and you'll be missed.
Well, I met Lord and Lady Bud some time back, and I'd walk around with my coffee cup. Sometimes I had coffee in it, and Budweiser advised her that not all the time I have coffee.
The reason he did that is because I kept calling him Mr. Coffee. And he said, babe, he's not drinking coffee. I guess I won't call him.
Another quick story is you're around the camp, the trailer and everything, and talking with him, and Lord Bud gets up and says, okay, be right back. Where's he going? He's going to check on the hitch. There's something wrong with the hitch. Can you figure out?
I kind of knew what that was.
Somebody started over there, I can't remember who it was a lady. They said, well, stay away from that hitch, it's going to collapse. Lady Bud's, or Lord Bud's keeping an eye on her.